back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on DBT and what to expect. Basically just everything DBT related that you can think of or wondering about if you're about to start DBT or it's been brought up and suggested that you should do it. I feel like there's not enough videos on DBT out there on YouTube for people that have already been through it. I would have found it really helpful to find a video before I started my treatment with DBT, like knowing what to expect, because it can all be really scary. And yeah, I hope that you find this video helpful and let me know in the comments how your DBT is going. I thought I'd make a video on what DBT is, because you might not know what it is or you might be a bit scared and not know. So I thought I'd just give an insight into what it all is about. So let's get into the video. I have written a few notes down just so that I get everything in that I want to say. Okay, so DBT stands for Dialectical Behaviour Therapy. It's based on DBT but adapted to people that feel emotions intensely. The aim of DBT is to manage your emotions and make positive changes. Dialectical stands for trying to understand how two things that seem opposite could be true. For instance, say you are accepting yourself but you need to change behaviours. That could be contradicting. DBT helps you achieve both together. DBT is very helpful for people with borderline personality disorder or personality disorders, or people that just struggle with their emotions that are not diagnosed with BPD or emotionally unstable personality disorder. Anyone that struggles to cope with their emotions could be applicable for DBT. I'll give you a bit of background about me. So I was diagnosed with BPD when I was 18 years old. I think that professionals don't like to diagnose you with a personality disorder until you're out of your puberty and you're an adult, because it could be to do with your hormones and things. Kind of tend to wait until you're past the age of 18. I think they do it sometimes before you're 18 in certain circumstances, but I was diagnosed when I was 18. DBT was introduced to me pretty much straight away after I was diagnosed. I've always struggled with my emotions and it's resulted in a lot of bad behaviours and self-harming and suicidal attempts and things like that. You will understand if you have a personality disorder of how your emotions can change. It's frightening, scary, frustrating, everything like that. And you just feel like you're going to be that way forever. And you just think no one can relate to you. Professionals sometimes don't understand and could say it's attention seeking. But I just want to reassure you that it's none of that. It's a real illness and you can recover from it. You can get better with the help of DBT. It was put to me when I was inpatient when I was 18 under the NICE guidelines. I should do DBT, but I was always so frightened of the aspect of group therapy. It terrified me, thinking, oh, you have to say, hi, my name is and I struggle with this in front of people that you don't know, that you think will judge you and things, but everyone is in the same boat, so you're not on your own. And I put it off for 5 years, and I think it's maybe a good thing because I probably wasn't ready at the time for DBT, as I'm going to say in a minute about the assessments and stuff. You have to be ready. It's not going to work if you're not ready. You can get yourself ready, and if you want to change, that's the first step. But if you're just in that dark place of having no hope, which I've been there, you have to be in the right place to want to accept the help, is all I'm saying. Professionals were always saying to me, that is your form of treatment, and it took 5 years and a lot of dark times for me to realise that, okay, this is what everyone is suggesting to me, I'm just going to try it, because what is the harm in trying? I'm just going to give it a go. So that's a bit about my background with going into DBT, and now I'll get on to what to expect when you go for your DBT assessment and things. So it will start with an assessment. You'll get referred to the psychology team for DBT, and you'll have an assessment with psychologists. It could be one or two. It was two for me. And they will just assess you to see where you're at, what you're struggling with, and to see if DBT is the right fit for you at this moment of time. Don't get disheartened if they tell you that you're not ready, because you will be at some point. It's difficult, because if you're not ready to commit to getting better, then it's not going to work, so there's no point in doing it. That's just the reason that they have an assessment, to see if they think that it's going to benefit you at this time of your recovery. So they'll ask you just some questions about what you struggle with and all sorts of things. I mean, it was a long time ago I had my assessment, so I can't really remember exactly what the questions were, but it's not scary and no one's judging you. They're just purely finding out if the DBT program is the best fit for you at this point of your life. I'm just going to say, for DBT to work, you have to make changes and be committed to the program and do your homework. And when I say homework, that's a scary thing to think about. No one wants to do homework. It's not to punish you or to do anything like that. It's purely to help you, and you'll really see the benefits if you actually do the homework. I'll go into a minute about diary cards and stuff, but you basically have to do something every day. It's only minimal and it will only take you 2 seconds, but it will benefit you. But you just have to realise that you have to commit yourself to this if you want to do better, because you can't go in it half-heartedly. It's quite an intense program, but it does really work, okay? So just give it a go. If you really are wanting to fight this illness, then give it a go. Give it all you've got, because if you put the effort in, I guarantee you'll see results. So after you've had your assessment, you'll go into the pre-treatment stage with an individual therapist. Individual therapy sessions for pre-treatment, I can't exactly remember how long they were, but it was quite a few, to basically tell you about all the DBT model and what's going to happen, get to know you and build up a rapport with you, because it's really important to have a therapeutic relationship with your therapist. It's really vital that you have that connection and you can open up to them and really get the help that you need from them. I just want to say that you have to be vigilant and open-minded with therapy, and you're not always going to get on with everyone. So if it doesn't work out with the therapist and you can't build that relationship, it's okay to ask to change therapists. And I mean, I've had 2 therapists in DBT, and let me tell you, I gave my first therapist a chance and I got on with her really well, and then unfortunately the pandemic happened and she switched jobs or something, so I was told that I had a new therapist. And because I got on with her so well, with my, as with BPD, you get your attachments and you don't like changes and things. I can tell you, my therapist would say, I did not give her a chance at first. I would not answer her calls and I wasn't interested. And she nearly had to just give it up there, because I just wasn't getting in contact with her. And I'm so glad that last chance that I had to get in contact with her, I did. And at first I was like, I'm not having any of this, but then I actually opened up a bit and built that rapport up with her, and honestly she was the best therapist. I got on with her even better than the one before, I think. That's because I accepted that I had a new therapist finally and gave her a chance, and it actually was a good thing. And now I miss her because I'm not in the services anymore, and she helped me so much. And I feel bad now, not answering her calls when she was trying to get in contact with me to begin with. So all I'm saying is, you never know, you have to give that therapist quite a few sessions to realise if you are going to get that rapport or not, because you're not going to actually know from the first session. You might get a hinge that you don't like them, but give them a chance. Just give quite a few sessions to see if you get on with them, and it's okay if you don't, but just give them a chance. And that's the whole point of pre-treatment, just to make sure that you're building that relationship with your therapist and you're happy with the DBT module and you're happy to proceed. And if you are, then you'll come together and you'll sign a contract. I know that sounds a bit formal and serious, but you're not signing your life away or anything. It's just an agreement that your therapist has expectations of you and you also have expectations of your therapist. So it works both ways. It's not just the therapist telling you what to do. You expect stuff from your therapist as well. So you agree with it and you talk about it and you come up with some ideas that you both agree on, and it's mainly like attendance and commitment and stuff like that, and you'll sign that. And I mean, if you aren't attending and stuff, then unfortunately they will stop the treatment, because at the end of the day there are people out there that really want it, and that's why I'm saying it's so important to be committed to it. So really think to yourself if you're committed. But I can't tell you enough how worth it is. So really try get yourself in that mindset to just think, give it a go. You don't have to be perfect in this at all. There's no expectations. It's just that you're committed. That's all that matters, that you want to change and get better. DBT is roughly like a year long, and you will meet up with your individual therapist once a week and have group therapy once a week as well. It equates to around 3 hours of therapy a week, which is quite a lot of therapy a week if you think about it, but it's definitely beneficial and they do it for a reason. You'll spend about an hour with your individual therapist and then about 2 hours in group therapy. I'm not sure how your therapy will be set up, your group therapy, as firstly mine was face-to-face and now it's on Microsoft Teams because of the pandemic and stuff. It's once a week for about 2 hours for group therapy, which sounds like a lot, but it will go quick because there's a lot to do. But it's no pressure or anything. I don't want to make it sound like it's a chore or anything, because I always looked forward to having my group therapy after I started, because I really hope it works for you, because it worked for me. Just give it a chance. And in the groups, they're not big at all. I don't think I've had more than 6 or 8 people in my group at a time. I'm not sure how much they have in a group as a maximum, but I never had more than like 6 people in my group when I was doing it. And on my Microsoft Teams, there's only 4 of us, so it's really quite chill. And you don't have to say anything that you don't want to, or you can just listen if you're feeling shy or anything and build your confidence up. And in the group therapy, there'll be different blocks of different skills, and they are about 8 sessions long, I think, for each block. And it will take about a year to finish, and you have breaks in between, like the Christmas holidays and things. But it will take about a year to complete it. Just an example, interpersonal affective skills is one of the blocks, and you should get a booklet. You'll find out with your therapist about it when you go through it. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but you'll get booklets and you'll be able to read through them. Oh, I also forgot to mention, in your individual therapy, you will have to complete a diary card, and you basically fill it out every single day. I know that sounds really intense and overwhelming, and like you'll get used to it, and it will just become natural to complete it. It takes it takes less than a minute to complete, really, a day, so it's no effort at all, and it's just to see over the week exactly what you're feeling and what's happened, so your therapist can chain analysis if you've had a bad behaviour or something's triggered you or something, and see why that happened and how we can change that and things. That's where they work it out. I won't go into chain analysis, but your therapist will explain it to you. But that's the reason behind the diary cards. And they'll have different sections. I'm not sure you'll be able to see this really, but there's different like boxes, and you'll put like 0 to 5, what's your urge? and if you actually, and the action would be like yes or no. So say with self-harm, you had an urge of 3 or 4, which is quite high, but then you didn't self-harm, you would put action no. And then they also have that with alcohol and drugs, and then they've got emotions at the end of like what your emotion is, 0 to 5, and they've got some emotions there, so you don't have to think about the emotion. There's some there already. You just put 0 to 5, and any skills you've used, but you'll learn all the skills because on the back, your therapist will go through all of the skills with you. But it's not overwhelming or anything. I don't want to complicate things. I just want to give you guys an idea of what to expect, because I would have really appreciated that at the time before I started DBT. And I really hope this video doesn't put you off, because let me tell you, you know, over a year ago, I was always an inpatient, always self-harming, suicide attempts, not working, absolutely miserable, chaotic, everyone giving up on me, not doing anything wonders for myself, and not looking after myself. A year on, I have been working full time, I've got a boyfriend, I live in my own flat with my dog. I'm now applying to be a peer support worker for my youth services that I was with for 7 years, yes. I've transitioned onto adults team, and there's a position going up for a peer support worker for the youth team, and I've applied for it, so fingers crossed I get it. But let me just tell you, like, I would never imagine myself being on the other side of this even a year ago. There's so much that can change in a year, and that has all been down to this therapy. Nothing else has worked. So I just think that just grab it whilst you can and take it. And if you guys have any questions, then leave them down below in the comments, or I'll attach my Instagram, Livtoflourish. I'm mainly on that. I look at that more than my comments on YouTube because I don't tend to get many. But if you just give me an Instagram message, Livtoflourish, I'll put it in the down bar. And if you've got any questions about DBT and want to know any more information about it, just give me a message. I'm happy to tell you anything you want to know. Before you know it, you'll be knowing all the phrases in DBT like dear man and staying strong. You'll know what I mean when you do it. But there is one more thing that I was going to say, and that was about like crisis coaching. And it's going to be hard, but your therapist, your individual therapist, is really going to be there for you and to prevent your crises. So if you're getting those urges to self-harm, before you actually do it, contact your therapist before, and I'm saying before you do it, and she will coach you through how to manage and what skills to use. They will be there. If you are saying, if they've got their phones turned on, then they will be there, or they will get back to you, okay? That is what they do in DBT. Your individual therapist will be crisis coaching you as well, and should be there for you to prevent a crisis. It doesn't necessarily work when you're in a crisis, so always try and reach out to your individual therapist before you're in a crisis would be my best advice, and it will really help. I hope this video has helped you guys, and I really wish you the best in your DBT program. And share your experience with me, even if it's a year down the line and you comment on this video. Tell me how it was for you. I really hope it's good things like it was for me, because it was, honestly, it was life-changing. If you are committed to it, that is, I've said commit so many times, but you have to be, okay, guys? Anyway, look after yourselves and stay strong. Be mindful and just enjoy the ride and take in all the suggestions that the therapists are saying to you, and don't give up. You know, it's going to be a rough journey sometimes, but hella, it's going to be worth it. I can safely say that I really feel like I could manage my life again forever after that. So yeah, thank you guys. See you soon in my next video. Take care. Bye.